Hey, good morning. Happy Monday morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. The sun is shining here in the beautiful world of Ontario, Canada. Feels like spring is actually just around the corner. I'm going to quickly just get my ES chart marked up. I marked up my NQ last night, so yeah, I've tried to make my screen, the image on the screen larger. So let me know if it looks a little bigger to you guys. See if you can see detail a little more. Anyway, I'm just gonna get ES worked up here. I'm just gonna start on the weekly. Mark up my main levels here. Put on my weekly low. Last week's high. And I'm going to take things off my chart that I don't need. I'm going to leave this on my chart. I'm going to put this volume imbalance on from here to here. It is a volume imbalance. Weekly volume imbalance. I'm going to take that off the daily. Okay, I'm going to put on my SIBI. That is a weekly SIBI. And I think the other important point here is I'm going to take my fib from, find the 50% of this wick. I think that's an important level. So I'll drop on here 50%, which is right there. So that is 50% consequent encroachment of weekly wick. There we go. I'm going to take this off the daily. I don't want it on the daily, and I'll keep it on the hourly, but not the minutes. Okay, so that's my weekly done. Move to my daily. I'm going to add in my previous day low. Previous day high. I have my imbalance on the weekly, which is almost the same as the daily, so I'm just going to leave that. We have another big imbalance here. volume imbalance on the daily. I'm taking that off the weekly, leaving it on the daily. I'm not going to put it on the minute to the hours because it's too far away from current price. And then, of course, we have our SIBI. Friday. It's 9:03. Good morning, everyone. So I'm dropping the SIBI on here. And we'll make sure we call that the daily. I'm going to keep it on the daily, not the weekly. I'll keep it just on the daily for now. I'm not going to put it on my minutes or hours because I'm going to put the 1 hour and 4 hour fair value gaps. Okay, we're going to go to the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, I'm going to drop my SIBIs and BISIs on here. So there's my 4 hour. I'm going to take that off the day. I'm going to leave it on the hour. I'm going to take it off the minutes for now because it's too far away from current price. It's not really, I don't really want to see that on my minute chart. I think that's the most current. Let's go down to the 1 hour. So far in the 1 hour, we have a balanced price range. Low, high, equal lows almost. Okay, so we have our volume imbalance. I'm going to add this SIBI down here on the hourly. Right here. That is my SIBI on the hourly. And I'm going to take that off. I'm going to leave it on the hour, and I'm going to leave it on the minutes because that is current. And then just take a look on the 5 minute here. Remember, this is ES that we're on, so this is our sister. I don't like having my SIBIs moving all the way over, so I'm just going to make this a little smaller. Shrink that a little bit so it fits nicer on my 5 minute. There, now I can see exactly what it is. And just while we're here, let's drop in the London high. We've already surpassed London high. Okay. We'll just drop in here at London low, so I'm just going to copy this, just bring it down here. Nice and fast. London low. Asia, we've already run Asia both up and down, and we've run Asia with London, so I'm not going to put any lines on my chart for Asia for now. And I'm going to drop $9.30 on my chart on the vertical line. I'm going to quickly check news. I always check on Sunday. I know what days we're going to have news, but I just want to share that with you guys. So basically Monday and Tuesday, we don't have any news. And then Wednesday, we have FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m., core CPI on Thursday, and core PPI on Friday. So the best days to trade this week are going to be Thursday and Friday. Wednesday, probably get a little quiet with FOMC meeting minutes. So I think, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are going to be the best days, possibly. Are you guys, hey, AC Ace, good morning, what's up? Hopefully you guys can see my screen. I've enlarged it as much as possible. Okay, so this gives us ES. I want to show you guys something on the NQ overnight. So let's just go back to NQ here. I'm on micros, and as you guys know, I've scaled down to micros just to be able to hold my positions longer. And if you check out my YouTube page, Friday I got 190 points. It was either 180 or 190 on 2 trades. So the first trade was 39 points, and then the second trade was 151 points in 4 minutes. Like, it was so volatile. It was like, not for once, but you want to be on the right side of that move, right? That's like, you see those moves and you're like, why wasn't I in that move? But anyway, I caught it on Friday and I was like super pumped. So if you want to check it out on my YouTube channel, you can take a look at it. I think I did a daily recap. So I was pretty freaking happy. And you guys know my signature play is the breaker block unicorn, and that's what the second move was. Price returned right back to the breaker. So, okay, so I want to talk a little bit about overnight, because you know how I feel about the overnights, Asia and London. If you're not watching Asia and London, it's like going to the cinema without having seen the trailer for the movie. You have no idea what the movie's about until you see the trailer. So Asia, London for me are the trailer to New York morning session. So Asia overnight, I would consider this accumulation. And I would also consider continuation of accumulation through this area. So accumulation, and then right here, manipulation. And then we have distribution all through here, distribution. So that's what happened this morning. And I was up very early this morning because I do like to watch Asia and London and how they move. I usually get up like at 3 or 4, and then I get up at 5 or 5:30. The overnight is of great interest for me. Sometimes I trade London, but okay, so we have accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And you can see that at 4 o'clock this morning, I put this fair value gap in, and I nearly entered here to go long. I wish I had with just a couple of micros, because we had play all the way up into the new week opening gap at 17,285. And that would have been 16,7, 585 points. So you don't need to trade with a big account. You need a couple of micros, and you have to really understand where price is going to be able to stay in the trade to make some good coin. So that's that's the way that I am trading right now. So again, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we'll see if price wants to come down. Here's our midnight. So at midnight, go down to midnight. At midnight, price was mostly below midnight, which is when we hit manipulation, and then price took off. Manipulation, from what I understand, from the mentors that I have learned from, occur after 1:30 in the morning. So manipulation last night occurred at 3 a.m. So I track this because my whole mindset is to just get in on the manipulation and ride price for 100, 200, 300 points with a couple of micros. You don't need to put a lot of your capital at risk. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of cover that with you guys this morning in terms of what I was looking at. Some of the other things that I'm looking at, let me just take new week opening gap and new day opening gap off my chart for now. So we have pre-market high, so between 4 o'clock and 9:30. I've got my pre-market low in here. We're above midnight, so we want to sell above midnight and buy below midnight. So I would not be buying at this point. If price wants to continue to go higher today, I would need to see price move down at least 50% of this leg here. We could draw a fib, or we could just use our GAN box. So we take a low to the high. Here's our 50% right here. It's our 50%. So the gray area is the premium and our green is discount. So I have no interest in buying up here. I would need price to move down here into discount. I've thrown up just a little prematurely here our opening range gap for Monday. Hey VP, good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. So here is our settlement price from Friday, right up here at 17,521. Here's our settlement price. And I've drawn in our opening range gap from the settlement price down to, I just keep adjusting it until price opens at 9:30. It's 9:14 right now. Above us, we have a couple of interesting points of interest that I've dropped onto my chart. We have this 15-minute fair value gap. And we also have this 50% consequent encroachment on an hourly wick. So let's just go back to the hourly chart. I'll show you where that comes from. Just go back to the hourly chart here. So here's my 15-minute. And it's this candle here. I'm looking at the wick. It's a point of interest for me. And the 50% of the week is just above this 15-minute fair value gap, SIBI, otherwise known as SIBI. I'm not sure if price will get up there, if it's got any air under its wings this morning or even today. We had a big move on Friday, so price may just drop around this morning. We don't know yet. So, but anyway, just got these few points of interest on my chart. Above that, we have a 4-hour fair value gap. That's pretty far up there. I'm not sure that price would explore that this morning. Okay, so that's just where I am. Go back to the 5-minute. Above us, I still have these opening range gaps. One is from April 3rd and one is from April 4th. Make sure you keep your opening range gaps on your chart and label them until they get filled. So these are two unfilled opening range gaps on my chart from last week. Of course, price dropped so much. Okay, so here's okay. Okay then, so that's yeah, it's basically where I am this morning. Monday morning for me is just a time to kind of watch price. I'm not so quick to jump into a trade. You know, price is very bearish, so this we could chop around, I don't know, but in this market, incredibly volatile with political nuances of tariffs and whatnot, I am waiting and watching for my trades to come to me, and they need to be in a higher time frame PD array. So ideally I would like price dropping into an hour, 4-hour PD array and forming an order block or a unicorn. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And I am looking for a 5-minute break of structure before I would consider any trade. So that is that's my plan basically for today. Let me know what your plans are for today. Yeah, we'll just see how the week plays out. Should be interesting. I'm just going to drop the new week opening gaps and new day opening gaps onto my chart now. So this one here, new week opening gap. So that's from the overnight. So price opened Sunday, immediately gap down, leaving this gap. So price now has moved into, it's about the 50% level. Maybe we can just take our fib and take a look. Here's the 50%, almost to the tick. It's just below the 50% of this new week opening gap. So, you know, could be price has reached its algorithmic destination on the high end, and we could see a drop. We don't know. But we will just look for PD arrays, and we will just follow the money, so to speak. Hey AC, have you watched the newest ICT video Venom model? If so, what are your thoughts on it? AC, I did not watch that video this weekend, but today is my day to catch up on it. Did you see it, and what are your thoughts? Normally I'm up to date on ICT videos, but this weekend I watched a lot of videos on power of three, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, because that's primarily what I trade. But what is the new Venom model? I'm curious. Can you give us the elevator pitch on it? I liked the last one, his new acronym a few weeks ago. Was it MOC, Murder on Close? Matthew, that was an excellent recording. Okay, I'll watch it today. I'll watch his video today. And but can you guys give us the elevator pitch on what Venom model is? It sounds like a deadly rattlesnake, short, sharp hit. That's what it sounds like to me. I love ICT's acronyms. I swear the whole library of ICT, his acronyms are in my head. Nobody around me gets me, except you guys. Oh, that would be awesome, AC. Yeah, it's concise. Love it. Yeah, would totally appreciate that. Keys off the 8 a.m. to 9:30 range. Was that part of the messaging? Keys off, hands off, 8 a.m. to 9:30. I watched a lot of really interesting videos on Power of Three this weekend by multiple traders that that I follow, and one of the traders named I can see him in my head. I'll think of his name in a second. Anyway, he's just a young guy that I follow because we trade very similarly. He studied economics, just like I've studied economics and finance, and he has a premise that not the banks, but actually the Fed releases money into the market at 8:30 every morning. Now, I'm not saying that that's true. I'm not saying it's true or not true. I'm watching that now, and 8:30 this morning, I think we made this candle. 8:25, this candle right here. So it's something that I'm going to be watching for. So Matthew, I'm not sure I understand. No, it uses keys off of the 8 a.m. to 9:30 range. Anyway, if you can expand on that thought a bit, Matthew, that would be awesome. So I'm on the 5-minute here. Let's just bring up ES. So price came up to 50% of this opening, new week opening gap, just below the 50%. I think the 50% is like right here. Price made a lower high, is dropping. We have some order blocks down here. We have an order block here. And I have my pre-market high, my pre-market low leveled up, and we are above midnight. So price came down initially, London. We did not take out this low. We took out Asia low though. Price moved up, came back into this fair value gap, and then continued up to this new week opening gap. And now price is looking a little weak, but we do have this big doji candle here at 8:45. Okay, so AC, 8 o'clock to 9:30 will created liquidity areas to target off of. Its buy side liquidity is rated. Seek to take profit at sell side and vice versa. Thank you, AC. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. And I'm going to watch his video today. Thanks. I took a screenshot of your message. I appreciate that. I'm sure everyone in the community does as well. I'm going to watch that video today, and we can chime in again tomorrow with some thoughts and maybe even look at that time frame. I actually enjoy trading the pre-market. As I said, I'm up super early because I'm watching the market. And I especially like trading pre-market when there's news, like 8:30 news or the 10 o'clock news. Those pre-market opportunities can really yield some good results. Okay, so our opening range gap is a little larger. Again, you know, market is very, very bearish. So this could just have been, quick sweep up this morning. We've got a 5-minute, we're breaking structure to the downside on the 5-minute time frame. So here is my last high, 5-minute high. And the high before that here. So we're making lower highs and we're making lower lows. Oops. Here's my lower low on the 5-minute. So lower highs, lower lows on the 5-minute. It's 9:28. We have 2 minutes until the market opens. So we've got our pre-market high here. We've got our pre-market low here. Coming down towards midnight. Making lower highs and lower lows on the 5-minute time range, on the time frame. The opening range gap. I'll turn on my divergence indicator. So right here we have a mitigation block. We've tapped into this area of liquidity, so it's not a surprise. So we have a mitigation block. This run, this leg here, let's just quickly take a look. We'll run our fib on it from this low to this high. Let's find our OTE, optimal trade entry. So our optimal trade entry is between 62 to 79%. That is the area that if price is going to continue higher, it could come into an area of value down here, which coincides or dovetails nicely with this fair value gap. So let's see if it comes down into an area of value before returning to the upside, or it could just continue down. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, Matthew, I totally hear you. I'm terrible on iPads. I prefer like a computer or a mobile phone. I'm the worst with iPads. Okay, so I'm going to take this off for now. So the 50%, I'm just going to drop the 50% on here as well. We're approaching the 50% of this leg up. 50% of leg up. And I don't want to put anything else on my chart because then it just gets too messy. So let's see. Let's see if price wants to come back down to OTE maybe before returning up and taking out some of this. And I'll just take these off. We know price is coming down and we know price is being broken on the 5-minute. Okay, so it's 9:31. Let's move to the 1-minute time frame. We have everything on our chart that we need. One minute on the ES. Let's see if price is interested in, here's our 50%, so it's, and let's draw a fib on the opening range gap just to give us our 50% level. Here we go. Here's our 50% of opening range gap. I'm going to throw my 5 minutes on here from Scarface. So our first candle, our 9:30 candle, I'm going to move this line over. So our first minute was there, so that's our high right now. And so far our low is here, and we'll just follow it to wherever it wants to go. These two thick lines are opening, or sorry, pre-market low, pre-market high between 4 a.m. and 9:30. Price opened here. I'm just going to adjust this ever so slightly. Price actually opened here. Here we go. Okay, see what happens. Game on. As I say, it's Monday. No news Monday after a long run down on Friday. I am in no hurry to enter a trade. I just want to observe and see what the market wants to do today. Is it going to continue bearish as it has? Do we get a pullback today? We're still above midnight. This is of an area of interest, this OTE here. And once we get to around 9:50, I'm going to switch back to the 5-minute. I'll be looking for the 5-minute break of structure, either to the upside or the downside. Okay, so we have a movement close to the 5-minute low of the break and retest strategy. This is the Scarface strategy that I take a look at, break and retest. But of course, using all the ICT confluences. I would never just trade a strategy without using ICT confluences. So fair value gaps, order blocks, breaker blocks. Now we are on the 1-minute, and so we have a high, no, we have low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Okay, well, we still just have this mitigation block up here. Let's take a look for our first fair value gap. So far, we do not have a first fair value gap yet. We have a balanced price range so far. Like I say, this OTE is an area of interest for me. I missed my entry. I wanted to take a short from here because we rejected very nicely. I'll see if price comes back. And this is not a signal service. You guys do you, I do me. I push the buttons on my money, you push the buttons on your money. I'm not encouraging you to trade. There's risk with trading. Stay away from trading. Use your sim. Okay, so let's see the reaction here in our fair value gap from this morning and OTE. See if we come back up and have a retest on the 5-minute low. This is a nice discount area if price wants to continue up. Watching for the reaction here. Price moves above with some strength. With this strategy with Scarface, he talks about allowing the candle to close. So it's like it's not over till it's over. It may look bearish right now, but it can turn bullish in a second. So 33 seconds still for this candle to close. Let's see if we retest this area. I'm 41. I'm going to flip to my 5-minute. I just want to mark out my 5-minute lows and highs. So when we move to the 5-minute, so we've moved back into this fair value gap area from this morning, area of support. Price has been rejecting off it twice now. My 5-minute high is up here on the 5-minute. And this is my low. My 5-minute low is here. So we're very bearish. This is my low. Whoops, that's my 5-minute candle. Put that back. This is a swing low of interest here on the 15-minute. And this whole area of liquidity down here is an area of interest. See if this fair value gap moves into an inverted fair value gap. Go back to the 1-minute. We're still within the OTE area. Let's see if price will hold. Here is this line here. This is our pre-market low. So we have not dropped below the pre-market low yet. That is a significant area. There's the smallest fair value gap. Here to here. That's the first presented fair value gap. So we've got a first fair value gap inside this OTE, inside this BISI from early this morning. It's 9:46. We have 4 minutes until the macro runs. Back to the 5-minute low candle. Let's see if we break above this. So we've got a high, a low, a higher high. A higher high. High, low, higher high. High, low, higher high. See if we come back in something like this. Let's see what happens. Low, high, oops. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Come back into here. It's 9:48. I'm going to take off the OTE now. We know it came back into the OTE, and let's just take a look at where the breaker block would be, which is here. So between the low and the high, we take the candle, bring our bullish breaker block. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Come back in, move up. And we do have fair value gap. right in here. Our first fair value gap. Starting to climb into the opening range gap. Here's our 50%. Right here. And here's our 5-minute candle, Scarface candle. It's 9:51. I just want to check on the 5 minutes and see where I am with my break of structures. So here's my low. Price is broken but not closed yet. Here's my low. I look for a 5-minute break of structure. This candle has to break to the upside of my lowest low. So here's my low because I have a down candle followed by an up candle. Another 3 minutes left on this candle. This is TJR's strategy for you guys that follow. This 5-minute candle has 110 left on it. This candle here. Again, this is my low. This is my confirmed low here. And let's take a look what happens at Scarface's 5-minute high candle. I'm being patient. It's Monday. We've been bearish for weeks. So this little movement up doesn't get me all crazy. I'm watching. It's Monday, no news, so let's just see what happens. All you really need is like 2 good runs a week for a couple hundred points. You don't need to overtrade. You just need to figure out what the order flow is, where does price want to go and why, and position yourself correctly. So I don't feel any stress or pressure, and I don't always feel like I'm FOMOing out. I won't say never, I'm human, of course. Of course that's going to happen, but okay, so I'm just going to go back here for a second. 5 minutes, okay, I've got my 5-minute break of structure. We've got a pre-market high here, got 50% of the opening range gap there, so I just go back to the 1 minute. Let's see if I can find any type of... This is balanced price range, balanced price range. It's not making any fair value gaps on the way up. It's retracing down, retracing, retracing, retracing. There are no fair value gaps on the 1 minute. Coming back into the new week opening gap. See if we get a retrace to the top of the 5-minute fair value gap. Sorry, retracement to the 5-minute high candle level. This is one of these runs where it's just hard to get an entry because there's no meaning pullback so far. There's no fair value gaps being created. Just wait and see if it pulls back to this 5-minute high candle. just past the 50% of the opening range gap. Could be targeting the top of this new week opening gap, or this 15 minutes SIBI. Let's see if we get a pullback here. So again, this meets with our premise. We want to buy below midnight. Here's midnight. So we want to buy below midnight. We want to sell above midnight. We're approaching previous day low and previous week low on NQ. Pre-market high is right here. So we're just straddling pre-market high. Let's see if we get a pullback to this 5-minute candle level. Hey, good morning, Tandy. So I'm just looking at your message, AC, that if we were long, that the Venom model level at this point would be 17230, which is pretty close to the 50% mark. Hey, Gigi. Hey, read this. Good morning, champions. I like that. 700 points in 15 minutes. Insane. Yeah. Still not creating any fair value gaps on the 1 minute. Pull back. Touching again the pre-market high, which is 4 o'clock to 9:30. So just touching the pre-market high again, rejecting. Hey there, heat trader. Yeah, 700 balance points. Exactly, Matthew. Exactly. You know, crazier things have happened, but price likes to return to breaker blocks. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just saying that crazier things have happened. I just want to jump to the 5 minutes for a second. So we're continuing to make, here was our high down here, here is our next high, and here's our low. So let's see if we can break above this high on the 5 minute and remain as bullish. Four minutes left on that candle. So this level here, just above our 15-minute fair value gap, is the 50% consequent encroachment wick on the 1 hour. That's a significant level as well. I have a slight delay this morning on my charts. I just call that small town living. Or as I fondly refer to this little town that I live in, Schitt's Creek. Pretty sure any Canadian here has watched Schitt's Creek. One of the best Netflix shows created by Dan Levy and Eugene Levy. And if you haven't seen it, it's a must. It's like one of those few, it's not a movie because it's I don't know how many, it's a series basically, but it's one of the few series that will leave you laughing so hard you will be crying. So anyway, I refer to my little town as Schitt's Creek. If you ask me where I live, I tell you I live in Schitt's Creek. Oh my God. So VP, look it up if you want. If you're into some really good humor, and come on, Eugene Levy, Dan Levy, they're like icons, right? And it was Dan Levy's very first production. This is technically his production, and both him and his dad star in it. And anyway, it won a lot of awards. So put it on your list, Schitt's Creek. Okay, so we're rejecting off this pre-market high for now. Just on the 1 minute though. Let's see if there's a pullback to here. Letter Kenny. I don't think I heard of that. Come on, let's get a pullback. Look at this. Continued balanced price range. There are no fair value gaps here, guys. It's like the bears pull it down and the bulls push it back up. It's just like, it's like a, what is that sport where you, two teams are pulling the rope? What's that called? Okay, we're trying again here to get up above the pre-market high. Yeah, Matthew, I can use mindless humor any time of the day, especially after I finish trading. Schitt's Creek happens to be like high-end humor. It's absolutely a brilliant show, but I wouldn't expect anything less from Dan and Eugene Levy. And if you watch that series, think of me as the wife called well, their last name is Rose, but it's Moira Rose. Moira Rose. You can think of me as you're watching that. I'm channeling Moira Rose in trading. 100%. Okay, so we've come back. We're flirting again with this pre-market. So price has come back, but it's broken below. So it wasn't strong here. Buyers did not jump in right away. There was some delay there. So let's see if it comes up to here. Tug of war, thank you. Oh my God. Exactly, it's like a tug of war. VP, greedy, looking for 400 points off MNQ. Why not? Why not? Well, it's hard to know what to expect on a no news Monday after a very large play down on Friday and having been bearish for weeks, right? It's hard to know. It's hard to know. Well, I never found my entry off the 5-minute, but you know what? I'm okay with that because we've had no fair value gaps. This has been like a really weird. But you guys know me. I will be hunting for my reversal this afternoon. If I don't find anything this morning, it's only 10:11. It's only 10:11. Anything can happen. Okay, so we've just come up through this 15-minute fair value gap, this SIBI. Let's wait and see what the reaction is. And just above that is the 50% consequent encroachment of the hourly wick. Finally got our fair value gap. Right here. Guys, I'm going to take off the opening range gap for now. There's no need to keep that on my chart anymore, so I'm going to remove that. Take profit. Good for you, VP. That's awesome. Opening range gap just ahead of us from April 4th. Big retracement, like with this wick. Okay, so here's our opening range gap from April 4th. That's Friday. So this morning, Scarface strategy did not give us much of an entry. We pulled back, but we didn't pull back to the 5-minute high candle level. A little bit tricky to get in because there were no fair value gaps until pre-market high, and then it just blew above. It hasn't come back to retest yet. I mean, it's just, I'm happy, don't get me wrong. my portfolio, my portfolio thanks us this morning. $500 points in 2 minutes. That's nuts. So the entry was off London low this morning, and that was where manipulation was. So for those who was not on the live stream this morning, let me just show you this. Let me recap this for you guys. Let's take a look where it all started. I have a few minute delay here. Geez, look at this burn. Here we go. Manipulation right here. Right here, manipulation. So accumulation, drop down, manipulation, price came up. This is where I nearly entered at 4 o'clock this morning, but I didn't. Oh well, that's fine. Created this fair value gap, dropped in. This is where I wanted to go long. Price came up, came right back down into this fair value gap, and then just took off. But this is where manipulation happened this morning. Power of 3, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So it's this is what I'm always looking for every day, is the area of manipulation, and then how to get into the trade. And just with a couple of micros, let price run 200, 300, 400 points. That's all you need. Anyway, look at that, eh? Those bulls, they must have rested up this weekend. Okay, let's go back to the... Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that that's where manipulation happened this morning. But it's, you know, often it's easier to see in hindsight, right? Like, the whole idea is to get better to see it in real time, trust it, and take the trade. So AC, even ICT. So according to ICT, you said this morning that price 1730 something would have been ICT's exit, right? So there's no perfect way to trade. So let's take a look here. We've come almost to the 50% of this opening range gap from Friday. Almost to the 50%. Right here is 50%. Let's see what we get. Previous day high is here. So that is Friday's high right here. I know the candle hasn't closed yet. I'm just anticipating. Oh, exactly, AC. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. You don't need 400 points to be profitable. I'd be okay with 200. Yeah, you don't need to get in on the beginning of the move, and you don't need to stay to the end. It's like the perfect party goer, right? You don't get to a party too early, and you don't stay to hang out with the drunk ones at night. Well, sometimes, maybe when I was younger. You know what I'm saying. It's the middle. It's the middle portion. Okay, let's see. So it's 10:20. We've had a good run up. Let's see what happens if we get an inverted fair value gap. Trump is mulling a 90-day pause on tariffs aside from China. Thank you, Matthew, for that. Is that that was probably at the heart of this run this morning, potentially? Good for you, AC. $10.15. That, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. $10.15. Here's our $10.15 candle. This is $10.12. $10.13, $10.14, $10.15. I mean, the move had already been, maybe, you know, others got a wind of the news. I'm not complaining, boy. As a Canadian, I'm not complaining. That's for darn sure. I mean, tariffs are hurting everybody. Tariffs are hurting Americans more than anyone. So I'm just saying these tariffs are no good. Okay, so we've got an inverted fair value gap here. I don't even notice the typos, AC. Are you kidding me? There's not a lot of typos in finance, economics, and trading. I always have such great respect for those who learn to trade in a second language. Like, honestly, I don't know that I could trade in a different language. AC, trust me, like more than half the people that I meet through trading trade from a second language. Like, honestly, if someone had said to me 2 years ago, hey, how about you learn to trade and learn to trade in, well, I speak Italian and I speak French and some Italian, but even in those languages, I don't want to trade in those languages. So... And it's all the nuances too, right, AC? Like, we talk so fast in English, trying to pick up the nuances of the language, the nuances in trading. Like, holy cow. I wonder how far we're going to drop here. It's 10:24. AC, anyone who sticks this out literally and just continues on this path, I don't put trading on a pedestal. Trading is a skill. It's a skill set. And there's lots of people in this world who have really amazing skills, things that I can't do. But it's just a skill set. And if you can learn the skill set by hanging in there long enough and not blowing through your accounts and just showing up every single day, you're going to get it. We're all going to get it. Just watching here to see if this BISI is going to be respected or if this SIBI is going to be respected. Could go back up and retest this area. Good question, AC. I think it's different. It's different for everyone, right? It's different for everybody. For some people, the discipline is like comes easier. For others, discipline is total part of the problem. But it's a good question. It'd be interesting to put it to everybody. You know what? I'm just gonna. No, I still don't like this. I still don't really like this, but No, didn't get much out of that. I'd like to see it return back to the breaker block. Anyway, it's a little bit. It's pizza money. Okay, so I'm just catching up here. So read this. You think that attitude towards training and discipline is well, I think you could be right. Like, I think learning the charts and analyzing can be learned like pretty easily. It's the psychology, it's the emotions, it's money, it's greed, fear. This may just continue down. Just these big retracements, they're tough. The White House is not aware of the 90-day pause. Why am I not surprised? We might come back and retrace. I mean, certainly this news, if indeed this is true, and we all know that sometimes Trump says he's going to do something, and then it's not so clear with him, and then he doesn't actually sign it. Like, I think it's making price go a little bit crazy, right? Tapping back into here. Still only 10:30. Yeah, I think we might go back up and retest. I think you're right. I think if Trump even opens his mouth or takes a breath in the next hour or so, it could really make the stocks go nuts. I am going to stay on the charts quite a bit today, just because I'm curious here. But I will be looking for a good reversal this afternoon, like somewhere between 1 o'clock and 1:30. I'd like to see price come back to this bullish breaker. Price always, not always, but a good portion of the time comes back. Okay, I'm just going to go one more time. Tandy, there haven't been many entries. if you look on the 1 minute, there's been no fair value gaps. So you're absolutely on the money. There have been no good entries. We've had retracement after retracement after retracement. And I won't be staying in this trade long. I think I might just, I'm going to tighten things up. Like to see it go back to breaker block, but it's 10:36. Thank you, Tandy. Are you shouting greed at me? I think you're right. But I just want to see it come back to the bullish breaker. Retrace, bounce price range, bounce price range, bounce price range. CW, good to see you. I'm looking for this thing to come back to the bullish breaker. It's like a magnet, but who knows? I got my stop loss pretty tight because if Trump and Elon even open their mouths. but we've got a balanced price range up here, so let's see what happens. I just want to give a shout out to all you guys. I'm really happy trading with you in the mornings. Usually I'm just trading by myself, but it's been really nice trading with you guys. You're helping to make me a better trader, so thank you. CW, there are no should-haves in trading. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Doesn't count. But I hear you. I totally hear you. I'm practicing patience because I have not much patience. Although we're in a sticky spot here because we're down here. But this is, we have been through the new week opening gap twice. So why would price want to go back? Like, that's what I asked myself. What would make price want to go back? It could, but realistically, I think it's going down to the bullish breaker. But, you know, I've been wrong before. All right, so I'm out with profit. That's fine. It's 297 plus my prior trade. I'm okay with that for now. I will be looking for some sort of, it's only 10:42. I feel like we've been here for hours and hours. But the retracements are for real today. They really are. The retracements are for real. So unless you're prepared to trade with a really big stop, see, now it's going to continue down. Stupid thing. But let's see if it gets back here into the bullish breaker, and then we'll see what happens from there. Oh, are you kidding me? The 90-day pause on tariffs is fake news? Oh my God. Wow. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but what a way to manipulate the market. Could be. Price might tap back into this SIBI. So interestingly, we've almost come back to this 5-minute high, you know, Scarface strategy level again here. Be interesting if price goes right back up. No, exactly. That's what I mean. Read this. Like, you know, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but if you wanted to manipulate the market for this morning, maybe to get some buys or sells in, that would be the way to do it. Release some fake news. Now I think we're going everywhere here. Back up into the SIBI. Could retrace all the way back up to here, to this candle here. So lots of retracement this morning. Let's just move to the higher time frame and see look at some of these wicks on the 5 minutes. You know, that's the kind of stop loss you need to have to stay in these trades. Wicks to the top here into this opening range gap from Friday. Dropped like a hot rocket. Back up into the SIBI, but these two big wicks here on the 5 minute. Not easy to trade unless you've got some long stops in. Guys, if you have a chance, if you don't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, help a girl out to grow her channel, I would appreciate it. Right down to this breaker. Mark my words. Well, don't mark my words. I'm saying. I'm the breaker girl. I'm gonna get t-shirts. Breaker t-shirts. Hanging around in this new week opening gap, eh? Okay, so let's just take a look here at, here was the manipulation this morning. Okay, so accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So if I had taken my silly 2 micros right here at 16,757 and just held, just gone out for breakfast, walked my dog, and come back at 11 a.m., 18,373. Subtract 16,753. That would be 1,620 points times 2 micros. So times $5 equals times 2. Okay, well, I'm not even going to share that number because it makes me want to cry. Next time I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm pretty sure that this is a manipulation, I'm just taking the trade. It was about a $16,000 trade. If I had just gone out for breakfast, taken my dog for a walk, of course I would have missed you guys, but come back to that. Anyway, it's always easy to say in hindsight what you could have done, but anyway, this is my what I'm aspiring to, guys, as a trader, is to catch the accumulation, the manipulation, figure out where it is, and then go long or short and just hold a couple of contracts. And that's it. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. And in the meantime, my bread and butter are the unicorns with the bullish breakers. And then with a 5-minute break of structure to either the downside or the upside. What is price doing now? Tomorrow, exactly. Tomorrow, I'll be up looking, creeping around the charts at 3 a.m. It's what I do. Price is going to take another shot at this. It's hard to follow, right? Like it's not respecting the fair value gaps. It's difficult to follow this. You know, price could come back up. The 15-minute, I would say we're done with that. Tapped back into this SIBI once, twice, 3 times. 1051, 1050 macro has started. I wonder if that would push this down. See, here's our high on the 1 minute, here's our low, and we're just about making a new high, so that shows that price is bullish. And with a nice long wick. Right there. No, maybe we're gonna go up. Anyway, I don't know. So I think I'm gonna close the live stream for this morning. It's 10:53. Thank you everyone for joining. Please like, share, subscribe. And I'm gonna be back probably not live, but I'm gonna be keeping my eye on the charts for that sort of 1 o'clock to 1:30. See if there's a setup for a true reversal, meaning that I want to see a bearish breaker block. I want to see something like substantial. We may not get that depending on, you know, what Trump or the news throws our way this morning. And let's not forget that it's Monday. It's the beginning of a new week. We had a kind of an exciting morning. We don't have news until Wednesday. So no news again tomorrow. So check over your charts, update them, take a step back, have a look at things from a higher perspective, and start to formulate your plan for the remainder of the week. Remember that although we look for manipulation on a daily basis, or at least I do, there is also looking at the week for the weekly manipulation. Okay, so there's the daily manipulation, there's also the weekly manipulation. Often the weekly manipulation can come late Tuesday or early Wednesday kind of thing. And that is where you're going to get the really nice runs, when you can identify where manipulation for the week is. Okay, so when the week makes the high or the low, you only need a couple great runs a week. That's all you need. You don't need to overtrade. You don't need to try and catch every tiny run there is. Just take a step back, look at the big picture, and figure out where's price going, why would price want to go there, and then take your position with a few micros. You don't need to put yourself at big risk. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning on live, and I wish you peace for the rest of the day. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.